That's traditional African religion. In fact, it's one of the biggest religions in Cuba. You see, unconsciously it has been exported, even though modified, you know, to suit local conditions where they operate. What is significant about this is that you have 100 million people who are still traditional African religious, you know, worshippers, which is a huge, significant number, you know, in terms of religion. Now we have about 500 Christians, 500 million Christians in Africa. 21% of the world's Christians live in Africa. Okay, like I said, you have 150 million Muslims in Black Africa. That's 15% of the world's Muslims. Okay, what is significant about this? Now, the Catholics, out of these 500 million Christians, Catholics are about 350 million in population. But majority of these Christians and Muslims in Black Africa also worship traditional African religion.
As well as other
exactly, as well as stay with their Christianity or Islamism, they still worship traditional African religion. Even the Pope to be, Cardinal Arinze, made a statement a long time ago, you know, that, you know, Christianity should leave African religion alone, you know, work with it instead of trying to change it. Yes, so that's an example. So even the cardinals, bishop and all this, they might be, but they still believe
in traditional African religion.
Exactly, traditional African religion. Most of the staunchest Muslims and Christians still believe in ancestral worship, paying homage to the ancestor. They still attend the events. They still believe in witchcraft themselves. They still believe in wearing amulets. They still believe in the power of jujus and charms. They believe in all this, even though still worshiping their own religion, you see. So given that number, you can say probably that traditional African religion is probably almost 250 million worshippers, or almost as large as that. Because those who worship, you know, the other religions still come back to their villages and communities and participate in every one, you know, of those ceremonies that concern traditional African religion.
And the one central thing that's uniting all of these traditional African religions is the what? One supreme being.
Exactly, one supreme being. They all believe in one supreme being, even though they have, you know, different gods and different deities and different religions, like we say, but they believe, you know, in one supreme being, and that's the bottom line. But people should not misunderstand, you know,
the impact and the importance of these religions.
Exactly, because this is a religion that belongs to people who were there. In fact, one can say that Islam and Christianity are part of, you know, colonialist penetration into Africa. You know, because like they say, you know, when the colonialists came, they came with the Bible in one hand, you know, and gun in the other.
Very good.
Yeah, when the Muslims came from Arabia, the same, they came with the Quran in one hand, their whips and, you know, guns in the other. You see, so that's very important and significant, you know, to understand.
Very good, Dr. Madu. We're getting ready to end this segment for today. And I want to thank you for the information that you've given in reference to it, because I don't think that many people have reflected upon traditional African religions, and in many instances when they do, they sort of dismiss it. And I think that the information that you've given indicates that not only are there a large number of traditionalists, but that they are in a large number, and they still have their influence. And if we're going to talk about religions, we have to understand their influence. And I want to thank you for bringing that information. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.